Hello there again. This time I want to give you my as I call it, two little cents about my Nikon D700, which I purchased about 2 years ago. Um, this is the current setup that I currently have. Um, I don't have the high-end expensive lenses. I just simply cannot afford them. Um, so here's the package that I have that I use. I have a 17 to 35 millimeter lens, which is good for wide angle shots up to 35 millimeters. Very good lens. Uh, Obviously not as good as the 14, I believe 14 to 35 or 28 that Nikon makes, the nano coated lens. But it's good, for people like me. I don't consider myself a professional. I do love taking pictures, but this is good enough for me. I also have a good old 50 millimeter. That's a must. If you can't afford any other lens, I would definitely recommend this lens. And this is the cheapest one that they make. I believe the price is $140 for this particular lens. It's a 1.8 lens. It's made in China, but it's got really good reviews, and I have to say, even though it may not look like it's made, out of top quality materials, it takes excellent photos. I mean, it really does. I know Canon just recently came out with a new 50 millimeter lens, 1.8, which is priced at also good, approximately 250 bucks. It's better made. It's a little heavier, and the quality is better. I do believe it takes better pictures than this, but for the price of 130 bucks for this lens, you can't beat it. If you want to have some fun, and you want to have a full frame camera sensor in a DSLR, and you spend all your money on the camera, but you can't buy a lens that costs you $2,000, then 50 millimeter is like the must. You gotta have it. So that's the lens, the 50 millimeter. That's how it looks like. I love it. I just love it. I love to shoot with it with no flash. The pictures are awesome. I also have Kanko, um, uh, which is made in Japan. This is it's like I don't know what the professional term is, but basically it's a magnifier. It magnifies the telephoto of your lens. So basically, if you have a lens that, like for example, this one here is 80 to 400. If you attach this to this lens, between the lens and the camera, what it does is doubles your focal length. So it would be basically from 400, it would make it to 800. I believe this was, I want to say 250 bucks I paid for this, which is well, maybe a little more, but I don't think it was more than 300. But the quality of the optics inside is quite good, and it's not as pricey as the Nikon brand, which would probably cost you about 500 bucks. I like to attach this to my 80 to 400 lens and take some um, shots with it, like shots of the moon and stuff like that. Obviously, with that in mind, you will know that basically this lens is 4.5 to 5.6. Okay, so when you put this on, what's going to happen is those values would go up in numbers, but down, and the aperture would be actually smaller, and I believe by twice the amount. You multiply this. This is a 2x. So for example, at 80, this lens would be at approximately like f8, maybe f9, and fully at 400, this lens would probably be at f1, f11. When you put this on, the autofocus, I know they say it's not going to work, but in good lighting, the autofocus actually works with this package, the Kenko here and lens, the 80-400. But it has to be the light has to be good enough. For example, if I was taking pictures of the moon, um, the autofocus did not work. However, what I noticed was that um, I was taking pictures of the moon, and I figured since it's so dark, you would have to change the frame speed to probably maybe like a 20th or a 40th of a second. But it turned out actually that I had to shoot the moon to have decent pictures. I would have to shoot the moon at like uh, even 500 of a second to get a decent picture. So anyway, that's the package that I currently use. I'm really happy with the camera. I am not a big fan of video. Um, not a big fan of video, and I did buy this camera during the time when Canon 5D Mark II came out, and I was debating whether I wanted the Canon or the Nikon, because I didn't have any lenses for any of them. So, but I went with the Nikon because I like the build quality of it. It's a heavier camera, better build quality in my opinion. I know, yes, a lot of guys are gonna say no, you're wrong, but that's just my opinion. Um, I, I do think it takes better pictures, especially in low light, and not by much, obviously, but um, it's the file sizes are more manageable, and in my opinion, all this megapixel war was basically pointless because every camera that had more megapixels suffered in image quality. Um, and I don't find myself when I take a picture of something, I already have it pretty much framed the way I want to have it framed, so I don't need to crop anything. So I don't need to take, oh yeah, I'm going to take this piece of a picture and I'm going to enlarge it and make a print out of it. I pretty much know what I want to take a picture of. So if I frame it, I might crop it just a slight little bit, but not much. So 12 megapixels is quite good for me. I know there's going to be a new one coming out pretty soon, and my guess would be sometime in September. Nikon is going to announce a new, I don't know what they're going to call it, d700X or S or d800 or 900, I don't know. But it's coming out. It's coming out pretty soon because they're due for that. What else? The menu sometimes gets a little complicated, but once you get used to it, like I said, I've had it for about a year, and it's basically a piece of cake now. I've learned what I needed to learn. Great, really great camera. I mean, you can't really go wrong with it. And I'm telling you, if you take a 50mm lens, you can really have some fun with it. That's pretty much it. It's like I said, it's a great package. There's nothing really I would change on it. I do like the fact that it's got a built-in flash versus the Canon, because once in a while I'll find myself in a situation where I do need the flash. Um, what else can I tell you? I don't have a flash, like the full-size flash for it yet. I've been debating if I should get the 900 or the 800, but this flash is good enough for me for now. I don't take any wedding pictures yet. I was hoping to get into wedding photography, but I just don't have enough money to buy all the good lenses. So I guess I'm gonna have to wait a little bit longer. So that's it. That's my little quick review of what I have with the Nikon and what I shoot with, and I think this is a nice overall package. This lens about 1600. This one is also about 1600. 135 about 300, and the camera is 2500. Thank you.